Okay, you are welcome. Today we want to look at formatting, reporting, and printing in Microsoft Project 2016. Right. So if you want to format your text, for instance, we start. You go to your format menu. Then from your format menu, you click text types. So under text types, you are able to change your texts, your fonts. You want it bold, you want it oblique, you want it bold, oblique, you want the size to increase. You are able to do that, and the sample is being shown here. You want to even change the color to red, danger. You want to change it to blue. The background, you can even change the background also. Alright, so when you click OK, you can see that your text has changed to blue. Alright, so this is where to format your text. If you want to change your grid line, most times some people are not able to align these dates with these bars here. So you can create some horizontal and vertical lines both on this side and on this side, so that you'll be able to trace from here to here. If you are looking for blinding, understand, even though it's selected here, even without clicking here on your paper, when it's printed, you should be able to trace. Blinding is this, you understand, up to the bar area and the Gantt area. And if you also want to trace it up to this date, you should be able to do that. So you might want to introduce some lines, all right, on this side and on this side. So to do that, you go to grid lines. You need to go to your grid lines. So your bars, you can choose the type of line you want there, thick line. When you click that, let's hold on. Grid line, okay. So your bar rows, the color you can select black. You can click OK. Let me choose another one. Okay, let's go to middle tier column sheet. Okay, so let's change the color to dark. You can see that on this side it has introduced these lines. So you go again. Let's go to vertical title, change it to black. Just hold on. Let's look at top tier. Let's look at the line. Let's choose black. So we don't have top tier here. That's why it's not showing. Sheet column. Let's look at sheet column. The color is this. Okay, so the sheet column, you can see this has come now. It's more bold. This is the sheet side. So let's look at this side. How we can create more visible lines on this side. You still go back to your grid. We look at the tier column. Let's see the bottom column. Let's see this. Let's see automatic. Yes, you can see that. All right, so you are able to relate, okay, these columns to your dates. All right, so you are able to do that relation. So as the case may be, you can take time to look at all these grids. Then anyone you want, you can change the color, you can change the thickness of the line as you want. You can select. If you put it as automatic, you can pick any color for you. But if you want it to be very visible, you can always pick black. All right, as the case may be, then you do that. All right, so that is all about the grid lines formatting. You go to layout. If you want to format your layout, you want to change how your bars are being displayed. You want to change the date format. You can change the date format as you want. Always roll up Gantt bars to your connect to your main top title for the project. You can do that. If you want to show your drawings, you want to insert drawings and you want to show them, it's already clicked. You can do that on that side. Then if you want to insert column, I have here, okay, I forgot something, I want to introduce it. Just click insert column. That columns come. If it's cost you want to see there, you can just say you can hide also from this side. You can insert either from here or from here. If it's work you want, just click work, comes there. So you can use this to insert your column. You can do your column setting from here, add the setting, you can feed settings, you can wrap your text from here, you can custom your feeds. What this does basically is apart from all the different manipulations that you have in Microsoft Project, if you want to set some logic for coloring, for highlighting, or whatever you want, you understand, you can further more or less like creating what developers do. You are able to do some further customization to suit whatever you want. You can get it done from this side. Then you want to format the bar, then the bar style also. You can always format it from here. You understand, this is your format bar. The shape, the beginning of that bar, you can change the shape. The ending of that bar, you can change the shape. The color in between, the color in between, you can change it to whatever you want. Alright, you can see this has changed. But what happened is basically, if you really want to change this, it is advisable at the beginning before you start programming, you will have to change it. If you do not do that, if you want to change it, it means you have to be changing it one by one, which you waste a lot of time. So if you want to format your bar, it's important you do it at the beginning of your before you start scheduling basically. So you can change the shape, the appearance of your critical activities, of your tasks. You can change it from here. Just select what you want to do. When you want to split, how do you want it to show? From here, the beginning and the ending, whatever you want to do, you can do that from here. So this is where you do those formatting to these shapes. Then you can click your critical activities. You can change. This is your critical activities. If you click it, those critical tasks shows. Slack, where you have slacks, if you want it to show, it shows there. Where you have late tasks, those activities, they are also showing on this place. Then your task part, you want to, these are like the task parts. I like task parts that are linked to the selected task. This allows you to see how the selected task fits into the overall project. Your baseline is also something you can, how you want it to be, you can format it here. How you want your slippage to be, you just select the one you want. You can select the one you want here. You can change, you can format your slippage. So basically, it just shows you can customize how, when you run a report on baseline, how you want it to be here. You can select that. Then if you want your outline number to come out, you can click this, your outline number comes out. If you don't want it, you off it. Your project summary comes out also here. Your project summary here. The reason why it's not coming out is because we have not itemized this. Let's see what we have here. Okay, then your summary tags also comes here. So this was it, that's why it's not showing. Alright, So this is a 3-bedroom bungalow, and it's also showing you the ones that are completed. It's showing you the activities based on their progress. Alright, the ones that are lagging, the time it took for it to complete everything is shown here. So depending on how you want to structure this place, you can format it here to show when you can change the color of your critical activities. You understand? So that when an activity is critical, you can always see it. Another thing to get all this information is when you run your reports, you can always see these activities also. You want to add a drawing, you can add a drawing to your Gantt area from here. Alright, you can choose any shape, you can even type inside it. You understand? So basically, if you want to format, there are default formats there. If you don't like them, if you want to customize them to suit, so that you'll be able to recognize changes easily, you can change their colors, change their line thickness, change their font to suit your purpose. Alright, okay, now we want to go to reports. Now, in Microsoft Project 2016, you are able to run reports to give you information and the status of your project. But the accuracy of your report is premised on the information that you have inputted into it. It's premised on whether you have updated the progress of work as I went due. If you have updated the progress of work as I went due, if you have entered your costs initially before you start, if you run a report on cost, for instance, it will be able to give you a cost overview. But if you have not done that, maybe it will be able to give you on the tax side if you have not entered your cost. So you are able to see burn down, you are able to see your cost overview, you are able to see your project overview, you are able to see your upcoming task, you are able to see your work overview, and a lot of result reports that you are able to run in Microsoft Project. Alright? You are able to run reports on your resources. You are able to see resources that are allocated. You are able to run reports on your costs, your cash flow, your earned value reports, task cost overview, cost overruns. You are able to run reports on your critical tasks, late tasks, milestone reports, sweeping reports. These reports you can use even to add to your project site routine. That is, if you want those reports to be accurate, I repeat, is premised on the fact that correct information will have been inputted, will have been updated in your schedule as at when due. You can export your report into Excel, you can export it into Visio. You can see these are the reports that you can get that you can export to Excel. You can export it to Excel, you can export it to Visio. Alright, these reports are available, your baseline report and budget and stuff like that. Okay, so let's try and run a typical report. Okay, so you can do visuals. You can export your reports to Microsoft, to Excel, to Visio. You can have some analytics, some images, some graphs for there for visual representation. So let's look at a typical report. Let's look at the project overview. Just click this. So this project overview comes into play, and what does it give you? It gives you the total percentage completion of that project is 26%. It tells you milestones that are due. The foundation completed is due. It gives a pictorial representation of your percentage completion against the percentage over 100. It gives you activities that are late. All right. Okay. So this is basically what a project overview report looks like. All right. So there are so many reports that you can have. You can have upcoming tasks. It can show you activities that are coming up. Just like when you're preparing for a meeting, you have to submit 2 weeks look ahead. If it's a current project, activities will be here and you can display them there. All right. Then with upcoming tasks, I've looked at upcoming tasks, work overview. It shows you the work that has been completed, the time remaining in hours, the actual work in hours. All right. It gives you the graph of those activities, your resource statistics. Everything is here. If you have allocated resources to that activity, you are able to get all those reports. Okay, so let's look at more reports. Let's look at in progress. Let's look at critical activity. This activities is not a recent one. That is why it's not showing a critical task that are there. All right. So if it's a current project, you are able to see your milestone report. You are able to see tasks that are late. Everyone you want to see, you can select them, and you can always adjust. You can also format this report. You can see late tasks for 3-story building. All right. For instance, all right, you can change the color. You understand, for that text. You can change it to black. You can make it bold. You can increase the font. You can do stuff like that. You can even insert images, and pictures even there. You can insert your logo there. You can insert your header there. You understand? So many things you are able to change and modify with your report. All right. So now you can change your orientation. You can change it to landscape. You can change the size of the paper. You can select a bigger paper as you want. Let's say it's A4. Now the next thing we want to look at is how do we present this report in a way that people will be able to have access to it in PDF. So there are so many ways of doing that. Number one is to go to your file. It's either you click print. When you click print, you can select Microsoft to PDF as a file. As a printer. Microsoft Print to PDF as a printer. If you are not comfortable with what you have seen, you can change it here. You can change it to from portrait to landscape. You can add your header. So for instance, Williams Tech Consult. Alright. You can add page number to it, project title. Alright. So you see the header comes there. Okay. So you can do a lot of manipulation from here. You can add your margin, you can add your header, you can add your footer, you can view it again, you can change your paper, you can fit to a paper. Let's see if you fit to a paper what we have. Then you click print. So when you click print, you are able to save that PDF. You can say late tax report. Okay, you can go to that folder. So you're able to send this PDF file to anybody, irrespective of whether they have Microsoft Project or not. So basically, we send it in PDF. All right. So that is the way to print. So now let's look at how to print also our program of work. Let's look at how to print our program of work. If you want to print your program of work, you click print. Most times when you want to print, you discover that this is page 1 to 6. You dare not send this to somebody. If you click print here and the thing comes out in PDF, you can see that you're going to have 6 pages and they are not going to be able to make a sense out of what you are sending. So it's very important we know how to set this to make some sense. How do we do that? There are so many ways of doing that. One way is to go to your print page setup, click fit. Let's see 1-to-1 page and let's see what we have. You can see this. It brings everything back to 1 page. All right. I can change my paper to A3 to make it more visible. So if you want to you can zoom in, just click this, it zooms in to see whether what we have is okay. Now another thing you can do is you can say click print, but you can see that what we have here maybe is too big. You can adjust dates here to see from which date to which date you want to see on this side. Okay, before we do that, let's go to our program of work and see there is okay. All right. Okay, so now let's go back. We say print. You can change these dates to reduce or increase what we have here. Now let's see, for instance, this thing is showing 2022 and I don't want to see 2022. I want it to end, for instance, in October. That's brought it down to Q3, which is October. So you can also use this to reduce what you want to see on this side as you want it. All right. Click back. So the idea is you should be able to, at a glance, depending on how many tags that you have, if the tags are not too much on a page, you should be able to capture everything. But if the tags are much, the basics is that anything you want to present has to be legible. If you have chosen to print it on A4, if they print A4, somebody takes it, it should not be too big and it should not be too small. And the logic also is the fact that when you pick it, whatever you have on your left, on the same page, you should be able to see the bar. So if you are going to 2 pages, for instance, on each page, all right, when you have a particular task, the bar at least should be on that page. It's not that you have this area on one page and you have this Gantt area on one page. That is not acceptable and that is not presentable. So let's look at another program of work to see if we have okay, let's look at this program of work and let's see how we want to print it. You can see that this program of work is showing me 9 pages. All right. So what do? I first of all go to my page setup. I click fit to 1 page. Let me see what I have. This makes sense, but it doesn't make too much sense. Why does it not make too much sense? Because this is too small. Okay, now let's say if I take this to 2 pages, let's see what will happen. Let's say if I make it 2 pages or 3 pages, I have 3 pages, and let me look at my paper. 3 pages. Okay, if I say I change it to A3 paper, does it going to make sense? You can see it's becoming more visible. Okay, I can change it back to, let's see if I do 4. What do we have? So now this is taking too much space, right? So I will need to go back to my program of work. You can see where this is. Bring this thing down here. Let's do our page review. Can you see the space that is taking is reduced? I can as well say that, okay, I don't want to see too much on this side. Is May. I want to bring it down to April. I can come here. I say, okay, if I bring it down to April, what happens? You can see it has reduced. Okay, so you can make all those manipulations to adjust what you are doing to suit your purpose, as the case may be. All right. So if I adjust to 1 page, 100 page, what do I do? This makes more sense now. You can see this makes more sense for me. If I say, okay, I'm bringing it down 1 page, let's see what we do. So the idea is just be able to manipulate as you want it. Okay, so 2 pages makes better sense, right? And because it's already in A3, it makes better sense than you can always, these are the areas where you can do the manipulation. You can do it here. This date, you use it to choose what you want to see from here to here. Alright, if it's too small, you can increase your paper to A3. You come here, you come to your page setup. If you fit it to 1 page, what do we have? Does it make sense? Okay, you say it's okay, you can leave it like that. You can also still go further and shrink this, alright, and expand this and see what we have. What do we have? Okay, it's making more sense now. You can see now it's on 1 page and this is still there. If I don't want to see this, what can I do? You can come here, you can change the space to reduce what we have here. So basically, that is how to format, to run our reports, and to present our program and save it as PDF. It is important that when you are saving in PDF, please ensure you check how many pages it's giving you. Through this preview area, ensure you look at it very well, that is making sense, that is visible, and that it is presentable. Thank you.